I've been saying for 5 years that often the biggest obstacles in our way are ourselves. And I've been saying this for 5 years because back when I started my master's in 2019, I thought I was putting off my goal of writing regularly and writing books again by another year. But then something happened. I watched the right YouTube video on the right day. And this quote I'm about to read is not revolutionary, it's not crazy, but for some reason, the day that I was watching this YouTube video, it really stuck with me, and it really made me believe it. And the quote, and it was like, everyone who ever started a YouTube channel, was the example, started where you are. They started with 1 subscriber. Everyone who ever wrote a book started exactly where you are. They started with 1 word. And I heard this and I was like, I have to write. And I think it was the day before NaNoWriMo, and I just went for it and I joined and I started writing. 5 years later, I've written 4 books, 3 plays, 2 novellas, a number of standalone short stories. But whatever. But beyond kind of the quantity, the quality of my writing has improved so much over the past 5 years. Like every word, every sentence, written, rewritten, and rewritten, and rewritten, and rewritten again, I've gotten better at the craft. And today I'm sharing my first major project from those 5 years. Sing Me Noel is the first novella. It's actually the first thing that I wrote after deciding I was really going to try this writing thing. And part 1 comes out today. There's 8 parts. It's a novella in short, so it's 8 standalone short stories that are interconnected, so they all kind of tell one story, but if you just want to read one, you can just read one. And part 1 is coming out today. I'm so excited. God, I'm so proud of it. I'm so excited. The me of years ago would be blown away, honestly, by how far we've come here. Like, I have 2,000 subscribers on YouTube, which is insanity, and I have almost 200 on Substack, which is incredible, and I'm just super excited about it. And I can't wait to see where the me of 5 years ago, or 5 years from now, will go, because I honestly I couldn't even imagine this back then. So I'm gonna now tell you all about the story that is releasing today. So many Christmas stories start with Thanksgiving. For me, I think that's because it always felt like the Christmas season started with American Thanksgiving. We would celebrate Canadian and then have another almost 2 months of normalness, and then visit our cousins down in the States, and our cousins sometimes we didn't do the dinner actually. We usually would just get there after dinner and then celebrate Black Friday. And I used to love Black Friday because it was the first time the stores would play Christmas music, and there'd be little samples, and we'd go around in our reindeer ears and our Santa hats, and we would just have an absolutely amazing time. So I am a huge fan of American Thanksgiving, even as a Canadian. And that's why I set my first story in my book, Sing Me Noel, at American Thanksgiving. It features the main character. Her name is Laura. She is a Canada-US transplant who moved with her husband and her small baby to New York City a little bit before the story takes place, and she is pregnant and expecting another one. And she is, I don't know, she is a very flawed character, I would say. Flawed in that, is she naive? She has a very interesting way of thinking. She's really tough and she's really hard, but she's so tough and so hard to the point that she almost kind of becomes a little naive and delusional. Anyways, and so throughout the story, this 2,000-word story, she has to encounter that and get through it, all while trying to make a Thanksgiving dinner, which I have honestly never had to do, and I would think would be very, very hard because those turkey guts and stuff look super duper yucky. For us, our Thanksgiving tradition was also to, as I got a little bit older, was to watch Harry Potter, like a Harry Potter marathon on TV. I know a big traditional one is the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade. That one makes an appearance in the story, but I honestly haven't loved it the last few times I've watched it. I found it a little commercial, but I assume in the 80s when the story is set, it was a little more, I don't know, what's the word, rustic? Although I guess they still had the big balloons, which is the huge selling point there. So that is the first novella in my story, or the first short story in my novella. I'm just gonna read you a little bit. So the overarching kind of premise for this whole novella is on Christmas Eve 2019, an estranged brother and sister who haven't seen each other in 15 years meet in the post office, arms full of packages. This story, this novella, Sing Me Noel, is their story. So the first one is called Nativity. The point of view character is Laura, and it's November 28th, 1985 in New York. Standing at the sink on Thanksgiving morning, there are 3 things I know to be true. The baby is kicking, the turkey guts are leaking, and my husband is having an affair. And we go on from there. So if you're interested in reading that first story and diving a little bit into the feeling of American Thanksgiving and the start of the holidays and the messiness that is about to take over that family, you can click the link. It's going to be in the description and in the comments to Substack, and take a little read. It's free. You can subscribe, you can not subscribe, you can do whatever you want. I would love to hear about your Thanksgiving traditions down in the comments. Let me know. Thank you so much for watching, and I will be back with a deep dive on some of the mechanics of this story on Friday. See you then.